Welcome to Grace Church and dealing with the issues of our day. Last week we responded and dealt with the issue of gun violence, certainly a crucial issue in 2022. But this week we explore an equally headline issue. For the question that was posed to me reads, I drive around and see signs on church property urging me to vote a certain way on the abortion issue in August. Grace United Methodist Church does not have a sign, which I personally agree with not having a sign, but I still would like to know where our denomination stands on the issue of abortion rights. Well, now let me repeat what I said last week. In my response, I'm putting aside that I'm a citizen of the United States. I'm putting aside that I'm a member of a partisan political party, trying to respond from the perspective of faith, the life and teachings of Jesus and the tradition of the church, specifically the United Methodist Church. This week, I'm beginning my response by stating clearly that the position of the United Methodist Church on abortion is not church law. It is a statement that is included in the social principles, which are advices to consider as an individual makes a decision, as a United Methodist Church deals with this issue. And I want to quote two key sentences from that advice given to us on this issue from the Book of Resolutions 2016 on page 87. It reads, our belief in the sanctity of life of unborn human life makes us reluctant to approve abortion. But we are equally bound to respect the sacredness of the life and well-being of the mother and the unborn child. We recognize tragic conflicts of life with life that may justify abortion, and in such cases, we support the legal option of abortion under proper medical procedures by certified medical providers. End of quote. This statement was passed overwhelmingly in 2016 by the most globally based legislative body that exists in the church, the General Conference of the United Methodist Church, where 30% of the votes are from outside the United States. This advice, this guiding principle for decision making, is personally important to me as I have sat with pregnant women, often along with family members who were experiencing, quote, tragic conflicts of life with life. Some of these women chose to experience abortions. Others chose to give birth to the conceived. In my judgment, both decisions, radically different, were decisions of faith. Now, this advice, this principle of decision making, is based on the Judeo-Christian tradition beginning in the campfire story of the creation of humankind, and that is that there was a first human being, Adam, and Adam was the source of two human beings created simultaneously, not one before the other, Ish, the male, and Isha, the female. You see, this story is the foundation of the understanding that Men and women are both equally children of God, with no distinction of worth and sacred rights to make decisions and determine what is best in terms of physical, emotional, social, and spiritual health. And from this understanding of the right of the woman to make the decision about their life, their health, their relationships must prevail when there's a conflict of life with life. Women are first persons, children of God, not mothers. Just as men are first persons, children of God, not fathers. Both men and women have the same rights as persons of sacred worth. And as followers of Jesus, we are guided by his great commandment to care, agape, to care for God and others as we care for ourselves. Aha. Self-care is basic to the Christian ethic and basic to a pregnant woman's decision concerning her conflict of life with life. See, this advice of the United Methodist Church does not affirm which is the best decision to be made in any circumstance of conception. Whether conception occurred in an expression of love or an act of violence such as rape or incest. In either case, the right of the woman to make the decision is affirmed on the basis that only she can finally decide what is best to fulfill the great commandment of Jesus, the foundation of which is her own self-care. See, this advice is not anti-abortion. It is not pro-abortion. It is affirming and protecting the rights of women who bear the consequences of conception far exceeding the consequence for man. Let me say that again. This advice is not anti or pro-abortion. It is affirming and protecting the rights of women who bear the consequences of conception far exceeding the consequences for man. This issue gives us a lot to think about. Let me share with you some questions. First, what is your response to the advice of your denomination concerning abortion? Secondly, in your journey of faith, how important is the foundation of caring for self in the great commandment of Jesus? And thirdly, should the advice of a church to its members be announced on a sign intended for the public to read? Think on these things, and we'll talk about them on Sunday. Thank you.